Captain's Log, Stardate 45442.7. We have brought the Yulians the Kardra 4, as scheduled, where the local authorities will detain Jev until such time that he can be extricated to his own world. Though it saddens me that the events have developed such, it is also a considerable relief that our actions will prevent such incidents from occurring again. Counselor Choi appears to have recovered from our ordeal and has returned to active duty. Starfleet has ordered us to Alcron 5 to assist in the establishment of shielding and medical supplies to protect the inhabitants from escalating activity within their sun's corona. On a more personal note, the shielding will not be able to protect a majority of the planet's biome, and considerable effort will be needed to repair the planet's natural ecosystem. Given the planet has numerous unique species of flora and fauna with a variety of fascinating properties, the loss is all but in...
Captain Picard, please report to the bridge.
Computer, pause recording. Climbing to his feet, Captain Jean-Luc Picard tugged at his uniform jacket before stepping out of his ready room. The bridge crew was in a flurry of activity, but they did not seem to be acting too urgently, nor did they seem concerned. The only exception, ironically, seemed to be Data. Though the second officer always had excellent posture, his back seemed, if anything, stiffer than usual. Report, Mr. Data. Sensors are detecting an extremely high burst of Coriton particles, half a light year from our present position. Coriton? A temporal disturbance? That is a possibility, sir, Data replied. Romulan cloaking devices have also been known to produce Coriton particles, though never in this concentration. They were quite some distance from Romulan territory, but the possibility, nonetheless, was a sobering one. Few Federation ships patrolled these outer reaches, and if there was a ship out there, or even a fleet, they could get far without notice. On the other hand, if it was a temporal disturbance, of some sort, well, the Enterprise had encountered more than a few, and they had yet to have a positive experience from one of them. Data, Picard mumbled, resting a hand on the back of the ops chair. Our schedule. How stringent is it? The android paused for half a second before replying. If we were to investigate, we could spend 2 hours at the target coordinates and still reach the colony on schedule. Any longer, and we would have to increase speed to compensate. Picard sighed for a moment, and then nodded briskly, striding back to his chair and taking a seat. Helm, lay in the course for the coordinates provided by Mr. Data, and engage at Warp 8. Aye, sir. Course laid in. Engage. It was an interesting day so far. No, come on, sexy! The doctor was currently imploring, frantically working the control console as the TARDIS buckled, whirled, and groaned. You can do this. It's just a teensy-weensy little jumbo-sized spatial singularity sucking up a supernova into an abyss of temporal stasis. Come on! You've handled worse in your sleep. But don't go to sleep now. We can do this together, with inspirational theme music again. A sudden, vicious shake sent the doctor flying. Breath blasted from his lungs as his stomach folded around the metal railing. Right! Hurling himself upright, the doctor lunged back at the console. Plan positive reinforcement. Not working. Plan kinetic impact. He gave the side of the console a sharp kick, and then yelped in pain. Ow! Not working either. Alright, I can figure this out. Just cross the wires, carry the to infinity, reevaluate my life choices, invest in religion. No, wait, I've got this. I absolutely certainly have no idea how to get out of this. Come on, the Silents want me dead. They're gonna be bloody cross if I miss that appointment. He gave the console another kick, and the TARDIS gave a long, low groan in response, as if every molecule in its structure was groaning all at once. One last titanic shake sent the doctor tumbling head over heels, leaving him folded in a mess of limbs against one of the railings. And then suddenly the turbulence stopped, the control room settling into the far more comforting trembles of regular travel. Still sprawled on the floor, the doctor gave a low, bruised chuckle. That's right, take that, you unbeatable singularity of doom. Rolling over, the doctor hurled himself to his feet, chuckling as he brushed the arms of his jacket. But the chuckle died when he saw the single purple light shining on the console. Well, that's not good. That light's never been on before. What is that light? Tongue flickering across his lips, He gave a lever an experimental flip, nearly stumbling to one side as the control room gave a hard shake. The steady grinding of the time rotor beginning to fade. That's really not good. Oh. The monitor had begun to flicker and blink with numerous symbols, flashing white neon triangles and subsequent green strobing twos. That's very, very not welcome. Really no idea what it means. It was around then the grind of the time rotor faded away altogether, the cloister bell announcing their arrival, and then a split second later, the lights flickered out, every single one, plunging the control room into pitch darkness. The deep hum of the TARDIS died away, not even the faintest sound filling the air. The massive chamber became as still and as silent as a tomb, abruptly leaving no light to see by, and no idea where he left his screwdriver. The doctor really had just one thing to say. Oh, that's bad. Captain, we are approaching the target coordinates, Data announced. Sensors are detecting an object off the port bow. Take us out of warp, Picard instructed, and bring us to 500,000 kilometers. Can't be too careful. The hum of the Enterprise's warp drive faded to the low thum of the impulse engines as they inched toward the strange object, keeping a safe distance in case it proved, well, unfriendly. I am scanning the object, sir, Data announced, fingers dancing over the console. Beginning comparative analysis. Picard nodded. Proceed. I just hope we gain some answers before I've identified the object. Picard's mouth hung open mid-word for a long moment. That was even faster than usual, Commander. I could not take credit, sir, Data confessed, blinking down at the readings. The object appears to have English script on the surface that greatly narrowed the search. In addition, its dimensions and design closely mirror that of a common structure used in the mid-20th century by law enforcement of Britain Earth. The most common term is police box. The bridge was silent for a long moment. Data, Picard mumbled. This isn't an attempt to develop a sense of humor, is it? No, sir, Data replied. I am putting the object on screen now. A split second later, there was a big blue, it even had the words police box written across it, and though they normally looked like they were supposed to light up, the letters were currently dark. The entire object was. Once more, stunned silence settled on the bridge, as everybody tried to come up with some logical explanation to, well, explain that. We're over 500 light-years from Earth, Riker mumbled. Even if that thing was able to break free from Sol's gravity, there's no way it could have drifted out this far, or be brought with anything short of warp velocity, even in 400 years. Mr. Data, Picard asked, is it possible that the object may have been transported by some form of spatial disturbance? An errant bit of jetsam, as it were? Data paused for a moment before replying. It is possible, sir. It would explain the unusual Corton readings we detected at this location. Picard and Riker both relaxed a little. Things seemed to be making more sense. This wouldn't be the first time we've seen a temporal disturbance, Riker pointing out, drawing in a slow breath. It could be that somewhere back in the 20th century a police box just went missing for no particular reason. Maybe someone snatched it up and deposited it out here. Natural occurrence, even. Yes, but what? And why? Picard mused. What could have done this so cleanly, with no surrounding debris or matter brought along with it? Why just one police box? Captain. Both officers turned to Ops, where Data was sitting, if anything, even straighter than usual. A sure sign he'd find something particular interesting. I have managed to clear up the interference somewhat, Data explained, frowning for him as he studied the readings. I am detecting what I believe may be a life form. A life form? Riker echoed. Inside a wooden box in the middle of space? Yes, sir. I am detecting no power emissions from the object, But I believe there's a living person aboard. The readings are strong, with no evidence that the life form is in danger. Picard hesitated for a moment, moving back to his chair before turning to the view screen. Could we beam the occupant aboard? I would not recommend it, sir, Data replied. As the sort of frown deepened, the spatial distortions make it extremely difficult to establish an accurate lock. Attempting to beam something within, or even transport something aboard, would be extremely hazardous. There was another long pause as they considered the mystery. Picard wasn't inclined to try to bring the object aboard just yet, not without at least a little more information to go on. But without even the transporters available and no accurate sensor readings, they were rapidly running out of useful options. I wonder... Picard frowned a little. Mr. Worf, open hailing frequencies. There was a noticeable pause before Worf rumbled.
Aye, sir. Hailing frequencies open.